Hello everyone, Professor Lohit here. Today we going to see the lecture number 26. Today we are going to see what are aggregates, what are its properties and different tests on aggregates. So stone aggregates from the major portion of the payment structures and they form a prime method used in a construction of different payment material layers. So aggregates which are used in a various payment layers have to bear different magnitude or stresses due to the wheel loads which are coming on a payment surfaces. So the aggregates of the payment surfaces of course have to resist. First is what? The wear and tear due to the abrasion action of the traffic. Abrasion in the sense the brushing of the two aggregate surface we call it as abrasion action of the traffic. It might be between the wheel surface and the aggregate. Next, the deterioration of the aggregate due to the weathering action, and third is the highest magnitude of wheel load stresses. So whatever the most of the road aggregates are prepared by the crushing the natural rock gravel aggregates are small rounded stones of different sizes which are generally obtained such as from the some river beds. Sand due to the weathering of the rocks obtained from the river beds are used as a fine aggregate. Clear? Let us see the desirable properties which we look under the construction of the pavement. The first thing is the strength. The strength in the sense the aggregate to be used in road construction should be sufficiently strong to withstand the stresses due to the traffic wheel load. That's it has to that much strength. The aggregate which are used in this top layer of the pavement surface, particularly at the top, varying cores have a capability to withstand the high stresses in addition to the wear and tear. Hence, they should possess the what sufficient resistance to the what crushing. So, if you see the pavement, this is the top surface. We have the different layers. Okay, the whatever the wheel load comes on the top surface, it going to distribute either in a bulb shape or in a truncated triangle. So what it says that at this point of the surface, the load are very much strong. Whatever as you go beyond the depth, the what happened? The stresses start reducing, or the whatever the load coming from the stress load is try to reduce here as the depth increases. So in that sense, the top layer has to have a good strong aggregates to withhold the what payment. So if you go to the bottom of the payment, if the aggregates are inferior than the top, then it's fine because the stress coming at that point is going to be reduced here. So that is where the strength is very important. Next comes the hardness, how hard they are supposed to be. If the aggregate used in the surface in the top surface, a different layer, this is the surface course, then we have the base course, sub base course, then we have the subgrade, different layer now. So when I talk about a surface in the sense, it is top layer. Okay, in the coming chapter we see that what the different layer and all, but right now you remember the top surface is nothing but the surface course, where the stronger aggregates are required because the wheel loads are directly coming in contact with the top surface only, they're not for the bottom surface. So the aggregate has to be very much strong at the top surface. So the aggregates used in the surface course are subject to a contain rubbing or abrasion. Okay, they always rub to each other either with the wheel or in between them only, abrasions due to the what, when the vehicle or wheel moves on the surface, they should be hard enough to resist that wear due to the abrasive actions of the traffic. The abrasion action may be increased due to the presence of abrasive material like sand between the tire, okay, of the moving vehicles, or the aggregate exposed to the top surfaces. What happened in these sections may be severe in case of a steel tired vehicles. However, the heavy wheel loads can also cause a deformation on the some type of the pavement resulting the abrasions. Okay, the mutual rubbing of the stones we call it as a attrition. Clear? If their aggregates rubbing with each other, we call it attrition. If the wheel and aggregate start what comes into contact and they start rubbing, that we call it as a abrasion. Clear? And third is the toughness. Aggregate in a pavement are also subject to impact due to the moving load, sudden load. Okay, sudden load coming into the on a pavement surface. Severe impact like hammering is quite common when the heavy loaded steel tired vehicles moving on a WBM roads, that is waterbound macadams, when the stones protrude out, especially for in a monsoon season. So for that reason, the jumping of the steel tiled wheel from the one stone to another at different levels causes the impact on the stones. So in that sense, the magnitude of the impact would increase with the roughness of the load surfaces and the speed of the vehicle and other vehicle characteristics. So the resistance to the impact or the toughness is hence one of the standout desirable property of the aggregate to be seen. Next, this we see the strength, then we see the hardness, then we see the toughness. Next is the durability. The stones which are used in pavement should durable and should resist the disintegration due to the action of the weathering. Okay, they shouldn't be crippled in a some short time. Because whenever you construct any kind of the road, depend upon the category, we have a design life. Like for if you go for national highway, they have a 30 years or 15 years. So until those times, the aggregate has to be very much strong. Even for different weathering action also, they have to hold the strength into that. So the stone used for pavement construction should durable, should resist the disintegration to the action of the weathering. So the property of the stone to withstand that what this adverse action weathering may called it as a soundness. Clear? The next shape of next is shape of aggregates. So the size of the aggregate is first qualified by the size of square sieve opened through which aggregate may pass and not by the shape. The aggregates which fall in the particular size of the range may be rounded. They might be cubical, angular, or flaky or elongated particles. And we see that it is evident that what the flaky and elongated particles will have a less strength and durability when compared to the cubical or angular or rounded particles of same stones. Hence, too flaky and too much elongated should be avoided for the possible for any kind of the construction work. Next, the adhesion with the bitumen. So in the adhesion of the bitumen, the aggregates used for the bituminous pavement should have less affinity. Less means less attraction with the water when compared to the bituminous material. Otherwise, the bituminous coating, whatever you have on aggregate, will get stripped off in the presence of water. So it has a good adhesion with the bitumen. Clear? So next we have the different tests to these are the characters now or properties. For each character, you have to have a test to identify that. So how to find the strength? Strength is found by the crushing test. How you find the hardness? So hardness is found by the abrasion test. How you find the toughness? We have the impact test for that. How you find the durability? We have the soundness for that. Okay, for how the shapes of the aggregate, we have the shape test like flakiness index, elongation in index, and we have the angularity number. Then you have a specific gravity and water absorption test. That specific gravity you might have done in BMT lab and all. And absorption test to keep the water for the 24 hours and see that what the increase in weight or what percentage of increase in weight and have as indulge into the water. It should not be more than 2%. Next, bitumen adhesion test. How good affinity with the bitumen, the grades how good affinity with the bitumen. So these tests we already seen in the C&H lab. Okay, I will see go through very quickly. Okay, in crushing in the sense, we have the base plate and they have a plunger, we have cylindrical, then we have steel tamping. What we fill the cylindrical, which aggregate passing from 12.5 mm sieve and retained on 10. Clear? And we put it on inside the hollow cylinder with a base plate. Then we have the plunger on that. We give the load 4 tons per minute, that ultimately 40 tons. So whatever the aggregate passing from the 2.36 divided by original weight, we get the crushing value. So in case of the abrasion, we have the Los Angeles abrasion test. So we have the what we call as abrasive chargers, which have the drum which rotates in 30 to 33 revolutions per minute. Depend upon the aggregate, we have to specify the 500 revolutions or 1000 revolutions. Okay, the aggregate which has to be there, we put inside the drum with that abrasion charges. Then we revolve around 500 to 1000 depending upon the grade of the specimen. Then once you have the revolutions, then take out the aggregate, pass it from the 1.7 mm ISUs, then to the original weight, that it gives you the percentage of abrasions. Then we have the impact test. So in impact, what you do, so again the aggregate passing from the 12.5 and rotate on 10, take the aggregates, okay, put in a cup and you give the blows by the hammer. How many blows you going to give? 15. So hammer weighs around here 13.5 to 14 kgs. So when you give the 15 blows, take out that aggregate and again pass it from the 2.36 mm sieve, and that passing divided by the original aggregate weight, it gives you the impact value. Then we have the soundness test. Here we find the weathering action by conducting accelerated weathering test cycle. We can't able to wait for so many days or years. Instead of, we have the accelerated weathering. For that, we have the we use aggregate is determined by using saturated solution of sodium sulfate or magnesium sulfate. So what you do, clean the dry specimen of specified size, range is weighed and counted, and it is and then immersed in a saturated solution of sodium sulfate or magnesium sulfate. So if you're using the sodium sulfate, you're going to keep it for 16 hours, and if you're using the magnesium sulfate, you're going to keep it for 18 hours. Then the specimen is dried in again in oven up to 105 to 110 degrees Celsius to a constant weight. So after that, after the completion of the whatever the finals cycle, the sample is dried from each fractions, aggregate examined visually to see there is any evidence in excessive splitting, crumbling or disintegration of the grain. The average loss in a weight of the aggregate to be used in a pavement construction after 10 cycles should be not exceed 12% when tested in a sodium sulfate and 18% when you tested in a magnesium sulfate. So next comes the shape test. You have already seen the shape test. We have the elongation index, flakiness index, and the angularity number. So elongation index is nothing but we have the thickness gauge, and flakiness index we have the thickness gauge, and for the elongation we have the length gauge, and for the angularity number we use a cylinder, and we from that we put the aggregates. Then we have the water inside that until it appear on the surface of the cylinder, so that whatever the water you are adding, you have to note it down, because that is nothing but the whites. Okay, so wherever the water is filling that, it means it accumulating the whites present in between the aggregates. Okay, then we have the formula that 100 minus Vs divided by V into 100 67 minus, that gives you the angularity number. So angularity number is always range between 0 to 11. So 0 in the sense they are more spherical in nature. As the number increases towards the 11, this shows that what aggregates are more angular in nature. Then specific gravity and water absorption, you know that bitumen addition test is nothing but we use the stripping equipment to get to know that what the bitumen might have the little polar activity or what. These aggregates which are electronegative are water link and are called hydrophilic, and based on the aggregate like limestones and dislike like water, the great attraction towards the bitumen, they have the positive surface charge. So these aggregate we call as hydrophobic. Clear? So this is done by using the bitumen addition test is done by the static immersion is there, dynamic immersion test is available, chemical immersion test is there, immersion mechanical test is there, coating test is there, immersion trafficking test is also there. The different tests are available to check the adhesion with the bitumen. So okay, you have to know basically important is that what are the properties and what are the different tests you're going to do on a aggregate. Clear? So we'll stop here. Thank you for your patience here.